What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm down at Randy Marion Chevrolet. We get to take a look at this 2022 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 crew cab. So huge shout out to them for providing this mid-size truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. I'll have all that info down in the description. This ZR2 here is finished off in cherry red and it has an MSRP just over $46,000. We're gonna start off today's review with what powers this ZR2. Underneath the hood, you'll find the 3.6 liter V6. This is paired with the 8-speed automatic transmission, and it pumps out 308 horsepower around 6,800 RPM and 270 pound-feet of torque around 4,000 RPM. This is rear-wheel drive with the 4-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 4,600 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 9 seconds, up to its top speed of 130 miles an hour. And it has a fuel capacity of 21 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 18 out on the highway. This has a wheelbase of 128.5 inches. Its overall length is 212.7. It has a width of 76.7, a height of 72.5 inches. Its ground clearance measures in at 10 inches. And it also has an approach angle of 31.8 degrees, a breakover angle of 23.4, and a departure angle of 23.3 degrees. And now as we work our way to the exterior for this ZR2, let's start off in the lower section here where you can see we have that bumper delete. So on the ZR2, this is how it comes from the factory. To give you even more clearance when you're off-roading, you can see most of that tire along with a sneak peek at that Multimatic suspension. So this is very helpful just to gain that extra approach angle along with better clearance. And then you can see also underneath we have the skid plate along with 2 forward-facing tow hooks. You can use those as needed to pull out other vehicles if you need to. And then just above that, you'll see the bumper along with some trim pieces on both sides. These are all plastic, which is really nice. You wouldn't want them to be body colored. That's just something to scratch when you go off-road. Definitely gives it a great look though. We have the Chevy bow tie off-center to the driver's side, along with all the gloss black mesh, just to give it a really nice design. You can see Chevrolet spelled out just above that, and then we have another separation for the grille in the upper section there. And then this also has projector beam headlights. They have a really nice design. You can see the turn signal down in the lower corner. And then as we work our way up to the hood, you can see the matte black finish in the center, just to tie it in nicely, give it that added aggressive touch. So it definitely has a really nice front end design. And I love how high that bumper is. Definitely really nice to see, especially for this off-road focused midsize truck. As we work our way to the side now, you can see we have these 17-inch wheels. They have a multi-spoke design to them, along with a two-tone finish. We also have the fender flares, which you can see are finished off in the plastic trim. Just gives it a really nice stance. This also has the factory rock sliders, so you can see those when you're taking this off-road. It will give you that added protection underneath the entire door. Great to see. You can use them as a step if you need to, but their main purpose is the rock slider. This also has the body colored side mirrors. You can see all the black trim surrounding the windows. This is the crew cab, as I mentioned earlier, and we do have the shorter bed. You can see ZR2 is also spelled out there. And then in the rear, you can see Chevrolet is stamped into the tailgate. We have the backup camera along with the locking handle. You can see in the lower section of the bumper here, we do have a little bit of a cutout on both sides just to help improve with that departure angle. You can see the exhaust is nicely tucked up underneath. And with the hitch down below, this has a towing capacity up to around 5,000 pounds, which is pretty respectable for the mid-sized truck. But now as we take a look at the bed now, this does have the soft opening tailgate, so you can easily let that lower down. And we have the spray and bed liner to give you that added protection. You can throw any items in the back that you need to. We have tie-down hooks. You can see ZR2 is stamped in the front section there. So you can definitely place any items in here that you'd like to. And it's a very lightweight tailgate, so it makes it very easy to close. But that wraps up the exterior for this Colorado ZR2. Let's work our way to the interior. Where you'll see on the door panel, we have some really nice rubberized textures just to make it more durable for going off-road and much easier to clean. You'll see there's a split design for the storage in the door along with one speaker, and the release handle is finished off in chrome. And at 5'10", it's time to work my way into the back seat. It's actually pretty easy to jump up into here. We have that grab handle, making it very easy. And you'll see at my height, I have plenty of room. You can see a few inches in front of my knees, and I have around an inch or two above my head. So they are pretty comfortable seats. I sit very upright in them, but they're doable for around town and situations like that. I could have 2 other people in the back here next to me. So it is pretty usable, even though it is a little bit tight, but it's a mid-sized truck, so that's to be expected. You'll see we have the armrest along with 2 cup holders right in the middle, and we do have the manual adjusting sliding rear glass, so you can open and close that as needed. You can also fold the headrest down too. So if you need a little bit more visibility, you can do that. And then right in the middle, you'll see there are 2 USBs along with a 12 volt and a little bit of storage space where you could place your phone or other smaller items. And I like the fact too that you can actually fold these back seats down. So just by pulling on this tab right next to the headrest, you can bring this down along with folding the headrest and make it nice and flat. You can do that on both sides, and that gives you a nice flat surface if you need to use it. You can also use the storage space up underneath. So just by pulling on this tab here, you can lift up the bottoms and you'll see all of this hidden storage space. That makes it very practical. You can hide some smaller items and it makes it that much more versatile for the size of the backseat area here. So it's really nice to see that hidden space. And before we work our way to the front seats, this does have remote start. So if I lock the vehicle and hold on this button on the upper section of the key fob, it will automatically start up. Really nice feature to have. If you do need to shut the truck off for whatever reason, you can hold on that button. And then if I unlock it with a key fob, we can work our way to the front door panel, where you'll see, of course, it's finished off just like the rear. We even have that split design in the door along with the speaker, all of the window controls along with your side mirror adjustments, lock and unlock, of course, and a really nice trim piece just underneath the grab handle. You'll see on the door sill, we have ZR2, a great added touch there. And then looking at these leather seats, we have another ZR2 badge in the headrest, silver stitching running down them. Really nice design for the insert too. And we have all the adjustments down on the side along with the height adjustment. And now let's go ahead and work our way up. So it's a nice little jump. We have that grab handle. And then looking at this steering wheel, you'll see it's completely covered in leather, more of that silver stitching. We even have some silver trim running throughout it. But let's go ahead and fire this up. So it does have the turn key that's located over on the right side. And then with my foot on the brake, we can start this up. And you'll see on this gauge cluster, over on the left side is the tach, on the right side is the miles per hour. Up in the center there, you can see the fuel gauge along with the engine temperature. And then there is a small LCD screen where you can go through all of that. Using these over on the right side, you also have Bluetooth and voice commands. But right now you can see miles per hour. If I scroll over to the right, you can pull up all this information. You can see if you're in 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive, along with your pitch and roll and the degrees of your steering wheel. You can also look at a lot more vitals. You have TPMS along with your oil life, your fuel range. You can look at all of your trip information. You can also look at music along with the navigation when those are on and running. You can pair your phone, of course, and then you have different settings that you can go through just depending on how you'd like to set it up. So you have a lot of usable information right in the middle. This also has a heated steering wheel, so that button is over on the left side along with all the cruise control settings. And then also over on the left side of the steering wheel, you can see all the 4-wheel drive selectors along with the off-road mode. Just by pushing on this button, you can turn that on and off. We have all the headlight adjustments along with a dimmer switch. This even has a trailer braking system, which is great to see. There's one air vent. You can see right in the middle, there's a little bit of storage space up top there with a split design so you can put in smaller items. And then right in the middle, we have this 8-inch touchscreen system. You can use these dials here if you'd like to, but on this home screen here, you can see all these icons for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can go into your audio and phone. If I swipe over, this is a split screen, so you can see audio on one side and phone on the other. And then there's a few other settings like your climate, your camera, and My Chevrolet. All of these shortcuts down below are nice to see too, so you can quickly get to your climates or your phone and music if you need to. And then you can use this rotary dial over on the right side to also go through this information if you don't want to use the touchscreen system. But it's really easy to go through all this. You can turn on all the climates, go through all of that information as needed. But over on this left side, you can see power and volume for the radio. We have a few buttons in the middle along with home and back. And then all the physical buttons for that climate control. So you can see fan speed on this left side, temperatures on the right side. You have where you'd like the air to go, very nicely laid out right in the middle, along with defrosters on one side. And then there's a nice row of toggles just below that. We have traction control along with the locking rear diff, the locking front diff. You have your hazards, the trailering system. There's a downhill assist control. We even have the cargo light in the bed, so you can light that up as needed. And we even have the heated seats. You have a few different settings if you want to just do the backrest or the entire seat for driver and passenger. Really nice to see that. And then there's plenty of storage space down below, along with 2 USBs, there's an auxiliary, and even a 12 volt. So you can charge electronics and have them placed down below. Over on this right side, you can see 2 cup holders. We have some really nice trim surrounding all of this. And then with the leather wrap shifter, the release is up front. If I put this truck into reverse, you'll see the backup camera appear with these guidelines, and we even have a trailer line right in the middle, so if you're backing up to a trailer, just makes it a little bit more usable. If we put the vehicle into drive, you can see over on the side we have plus and minus. So if you're towing or if you have this off-road, you can use those as needed to hold a gear if you'd like to. Makes it really convenient. You can see a wireless charging pad right in the middle. And then as we work our way to the center armrest, it's finished off in leather. And look at the amount of room that you have. It's a very deep compartment. You can place any items there that you'd like to. And then you can see the glove box there where you have a lot more storage. We'll take another look at the seats. And then up in the center here, you can see we have a sunglass holder on the backside. You have the dome lights as well. And then you can see there's also a few call buttons on that rear view mirror. All right, so getting this 2022 Chevrolet Colorado out on the road. A few buttons that I forgot to mention earlier. We have volume and tuning on the backside of the steering wheel. Very common for Chevrolet on all of their models. Makes it really nice and convenient to have them placed there. But as we get this out on the road, I own a mid-sized truck. I own the Toyota Tacoma, so it's really nice to get to see the competition and what this Colorado has to offer. I love the fact that I've already shown earlier up front, we have the cutouts in the bumper there. I think that is a really great design. That is something that I've done on my own truck because I take mine off-road. It gives you a lot more clearance for the front approach angle, which I love. And the fact that it comes factory, this is the only mid-size truck I've seen to offer that design for the front. So they're catering a little bit more to having that better clearance up front, which I love to see. You can see the tire, you can see a little bit of the suspension. This is really focused for off-road. We have the rock sliders. There's the cutouts in the bumper in the rear just to give you that better departure angle. And then we have the locking diffs front and rear. We have the off-road mode there. This is set up if you want to buy this and take this off-road. We have plenty of ground clearance too. And the fact that we have a very comfortable daily driver. So at the same time, you're not sacrificing being able to drive this every single day if you want to, because let's face it, most of the time we're only taking our vehicles off-road, maybe 5% of the time. But I've put a few miles on this so far, and I love how it's driving. As I already said, you're not sacrificing anything to drive this on the road. It provides you with a really comfortable ride, which I love. It's very quiet on the interior too. And one thing with the exterior, we do have some plastic trim pieces everywhere. Honestly, I like that. If you get it body colored, it's just another piece that you could scratch when you're taking it off-road. So again, they're catering to someone who's going to take this off-road, and they don't care about getting some scratches on those fender flares because they are plastic. You're not going to see that as much, of course, as if you have a scratch going down the paint. So I love that aspect to it. The interior here is also very nice. It gives you everything that you need. But now let's give this a little bit of gas with the V6. Not doing anything crazy, and we are up to speed. So it has plenty of power. You can use that power to get those wheels turning if you're in the mud or situations like that if you're towing. And so now as we switch over to the POV angle, you can see what it's like to be behind the wheel of the Colorado ZR2. It's definitely a very nice truck to drive. I love the trim piece too that surrounds everything right in the middle. Easy layout for that center screen. And you can see from this angle too, the bulge in the hood with that black trim piece gives it a great look from the driver's seat. Visibility is also really easy to see all around. I didn't quite mention that. Of course, I showed the backup camera earlier, but on the side mirrors here, we do have that magnifying corner there. You can use that if you have a trailer behind you. Just gives you a little bit more visibility. And then a quick look over my right shoulder. Trucks really don't have blind spots, so you can see over that pillar. Over my left shoulder here, you can see out of that glass. It's a very small truck, so you can even see the far corners through the rear view there. You can easily place this truck. Makes it very helpful. Parking lots, off-roading, you can drive this truck and easily maneuver it, which is of course great. Take another look at this interior. It's really nice. I love all of the materials. We do have some plastic trim pieces here or there, but it's really nice. This is an off-roader. It's going to be easier to clean. It does have a really nice interior. I love the look of it, and hopefully you can tell how quiet this is to drive. It's absorbing all of these bumps that I'm throwing at it today very nicely. It'd be great to take this off-road and really see how it performs. We're gonna do a quick U-turn here and test how tight the steering is. Once again, we can easily do this in one turn and then give it a little bit of gas again. One last acceleration for today. And just like that, we're up to speed. That wasn't anything crazy on the accelerator there, very mild. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this 2022 Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 crew cab. Once again, huge shout out to Randy Marion Chevrolet for providing this truck for me today. Make sure you guys check out their website. All that info is down in the description. If you enjoyed today's review, give it a huge thumbs up and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I'll see you guys in the next video.